So a couple of tracks there from Ainsley Dunbar Retaliation from the four albums between 68 and 70 that were more psych blues than anything else, but super interesting and very much a quality quartet. Last week, I only played one Katrina song because it was brand new, and it was DeVell Crawford and the Walls of New Orleans. Well, luckily, I have another very cool, very new Katrina-related song by the great John Papagrow called Hurricane. We're going to play that in a minute. I'm sticking with my guns about not celebrating, but honoring. I could play tons of Katrina-related songs for an hour, but I don't want to. I want to stick with the new in New Orleans and keep it that way. But I did first want to talk a little bit about happiness. It's a drug of mine. I don't apologize for it. I consider myself very fortunate. But I've come to the point in life where I try and explain it to myself and to others. Because particularly in recent years, a lot of talk about depression, extreme anxiety, mental health. I have zero experience of any of this, and I'm conscious of it. And I feel bad for people. I do have feelings, but none of that is in me. I wake up happy and plow through the day till I get worn out, maybe take a nap, have a coffee up, and carry on happy. It's the only thing I know. And I guess who was I talking to? Gary. Yes. Gary, Nashville bass player, commoner's mark, dime a dozen, you know what I mean. Hope he's not hearing this. I've decided that I've figured it out because of my heritage to some degree. This is my opinion. I might be wrong. I was wrong once before. Happened in 1987, but we don't talk about it. I think it's in my genes. I think it's my DNA, which is a result of the culture that I was born into the first 30 years of my life in London and the family I was born into. The two are directly related that will produce the DNA. Genes is one, culture is the other, and I'm really believing this. So my parents lived 178 years between them, and the only time I recall them even quarreling was probably, I know, in the mid-60s. Times were tough. They had two young kids. Stuff happens, but no more than raised voices on just a few occasions. And they were together their entire lives. I mean, that's a lot. So don't get me wrong. I have absolutely seen my share of obstacles, both in the UK for the first 30 years and 30 years here. I immigrated. That's pretty big of an upheaval. I didn't know I was never going back. That wasn't part of the plan. I was on my way to Jeddah in Saudi, and everything changed. That's what careers do. 2 failed marriages, 5 kids. One of them killed by a drunk driver at 27. Trust me, I've had my share. My sister died 30 years ago at just 43 of cancer. I guess my rule is I address seriously the things that I have to face, but I do it calmly, or maybe it's a business function, I don't know. I deal with it and then go back to the joy of being happy. And I think the British way of life, particularly during and right after World War II, may be part of it, the culture of mocking Hitler with comedy and songs. While you suffer through a war, or through those that are left behind, or through cleaning guns, or the whole functional role. My father was deposited in Africa, in Takoradi, with the RAF, fixing instruments on planes. And he was there a couple of years. My mum was at home. And I can tell by the stories in his book and other things that he did in pictures, his way was helping the pilots. as they would come in from terrifying missions, etc., he started building rafts out of flotsam and jetsam that would land on the beach from around the world, and just nailing them and building them together. And he called it the Takoradi Yacht Club. You know, he managed the bar. He wasn't a drinker, never saw any booze in the house. He didn't drink. And maybe that's the reason he got the job or got assigned it. He managed the bar and cobbled together some billiard tables, things to help the pilots relax, to get them through, you know. There's always an in-joke where the sergeant would shout at the private, "Where's that stiff upper lip? It's above this loose flabby chin, sir." Stuff like that. I enjoy living daily, wherever, whatever. Life has slowed down quite a bit for me now, so that makes it a little easier to dodge the bullets that come and go. It's also based on sleep. I need a good 8 to 9 hours sleep per 24. And then I'm good. Got a glide in my stride, a pep in my step, and which I'm sure will expire one day. But till then, I don't allow negative scenes or humans to bring me down. Of course, I feel it. I see the anxiety and I see the issues around me. Like Katrina, the most awful thing. I can't think of anything that affected me more. You all need to watch the Netflix documentary called Come Hell or High Water. Anybody that wasn't living in Louisiana who thinks they knew what happened, you have no clue. You really don't. And you really need to watch it to see what actually happened. Anyway, this is my connection as to why I'm happy, and we're going to roll into Katrina and play you a terrific song from John Papagrow called Hurricane, because it wasn't a great thing, but I think we can balance the two. If I'm not up and happy, then I can't help anyone, anything, any issue with smiles. So that's what I got to keep doing.